So this is a little misleading because we're not just going to talk about red, we're going to talk about all the colors. I guess I need this one too. So in order to understand what an antioxidant is, we need to understand what oxidation is. So what causes oxidation? Well, exercise. Exercise does. Right? Breathing.
No.
Yeah. Yes. Breathing causes oxidation. The natural metabolism of food causes oxidation. And then, of course, we have the less than optimal things that cause, right? We've got smoking, we have UV light. What else do we have? Pollutants, air pollutants, highly processed food. All of those things can cause oxidation. So what does this tell us? It tells us that oxidation is a natural process, and we do need it, right? We do. If we're going to breathe, we need oxidation. We're going to eat, we need oxidation. I just read on a fantastic article the other day. This man said, or I guess I'm assuming it's a man, it could have been a woman, but this person said, oxidation is the price of living. And I thought that was really well put. And it really is. Unfortunately, oxidation in our world now can be overwhelming for us. And the reason being is, so the body is adapted to natural oxidation. We have mechanisms to keep us in balance at all times. But when you start adding air pollution and water pollution and bad food and all these different things, it overwhelms the body. And a lot of scientists are actually looking into how oxidation can potentially lead to degenerative diseases. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. That means that the world we're living in is causing us to be ill when we're older, causing us to be ill long before we should be. And I think that's a pretty scary thought. So to get back to what oxidation is, I won't go too far into this. But here's your atom molecule, here's your nucleus. These are electrons, right? And the electrons surround the nucleus. Now, electrons like to be in pairs. And when they're not in pairs, they like to find pairs. That's just how atoms work. A free radical is when one of these electrons escapes for whatever reason, chemical reaction, food, whatever. And this molecule here wants its other electron. What happens, it becomes extremely reactive. This means that this free radical is going to steal from healthy cells. So I'd like everybody to take a second and just imagine. Let's imagine we're standing in a circle and we're linked arms and we've got our legs linked. So we're each an atom molecule. And a free radical comes along and wants to steal one of our electrons. So it takes our arm. So what happens then to our connection, right? Now we have this gap here. Now the next person down, the electron takes its leg, and we have a gap there. And what was once a circle where we're all bonded together is not a very good circle anymore, right? There's all these areas that stuff can get in, or whatever is inside can get out. Essentially what this causes, it can cause cell death, it can cause cell damage, it can cause DNA damage. And every time your DNA replicates, if it's got damage, it's not going to replicate as well. It's just not. Right? No, that was a joke.
Yeah.
This poor guy, I feel so bad for
I
him.
know. Yeah, I know, just me. Yes, I love that.
I don't know why the free radical is angry, because obviously he's just trying to complete himself. So antioxidants work pretty simply. They donate an electron. They make this molecule no longer reactive. And if this molecule is not reactive, then it can't harm those cells. Our DNA replicates better, we have less damage. Let's talk about color. I know I said red, but there were just too many awesome colors that I just couldn't leave them out. So we're going to talk a bit about chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is that lovely green color that we often see in plants, right? Mm-hmm. Now, anytime we see a color, it means that that plant is absorbing that wavelength. So the green wavelength is being absorbed, and therefore we see green. So that's how all of these colors work. Weird concept, I know, but that's what it is. Does anyone remember what chlorophyll does? You remember from school? Yeah, I had to look it up too. So it pulls in energy from light, and it pulls in wavelengths from light and creates energy, stores it for later use. it's a way for it to store food is essentially what's happening. Energy to make food, rather. So chlorophyll, potent antioxidant, very, very potent. In September 2013, they did a study and they found that chlorophyll might actually help suppress hunger, which has huge implications because you can work with weight loss, you can work with maintaining weight. They also looked at blood sugar levels, and blood sugar levels had stabilized, so pretty exciting. Chlorophyll is also able to bind with toxins, and once it's able to bind with those toxins, we can excrete it.
Is that why they tell you to eat your green leafy vegetables?
One of the many reasons, yes, absolutely. So it helps protect your DNA because it's an antioxidant, and it's also been studied for its prevention of cancer, if you will. We're going to talk a little bit about, pretty briefly, about these compounds. These are carotenoids. This lutein starts out as it's like a yellowish green color, and it gets darker and darker until it turns into red. And of course we find them in peppers. And I'm going to go over just a couple to give you an idea of what they do. If you go into any health food store, I'm sure we probably have materials around here too, you can really kind of dive into what each does. These two, found in a variety of foods, oftentimes, yeah, good for eye health.
Yes.
And part of this is because if you think about the eye and how small the vessels are in the eye, a little bit of damage goes a long way. And so having antioxidants to kind of help protect those very small vessels, extremely important. Extremely important. Carotene. Most people know about carotene, right? Does anyone watch House? The show House? Well, it's about the doctor who's a pain in the butt, takes too many drugs himself, but he always solves great medical mysteries. Well, this great medical mystery that was in the pilot episode is called Orange Man. And this man came in, and he was orange. And that's not why he came in. He came in because he had back problems from golfing. And he didn't realize his orange, as you do. You look in the mirror and you don't think you're orange. And he was married. Wife didn't realize he was orange either. Clearly she was doing something else. Anyways, House gets to the bottom of it. This man's taking too much carotene and he's taking niacin. So niacin is a B vitamin, gives you energy. It's also red. And so when you take it, it can flush your skin, turns you red. He took the carotene, turned himself orange. We also know, probably from history class I would think, or maybe just a rumor, that in World War II, the men would eat a lot of carrots and they turned orange, right? And it was for their eyesight. Have you guys not heard that? No? Okay. Well, there's a reason behind it. So there's two forms of carotene. There's alpha and there's beta. The beta form is easily converted into vitamin A. And vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, stores in our fat for later use. And when we're able to pull it out, we can convert it into retinol, which is good for your eyes. So that was the whole reason. I don't know if they were actually orange, but it is a story I have heard. So this is one of my favorite compounds just because it's beautiful. Anthocyanins. They're what turns pansies this beautiful color. Has anyone ever had pansies in like a wedding salad? Yeah, I just think they look so nice. And they're healthy for you, go figure. So anthocyanins have a lot of benefits as well. They have antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory, antiviral. Of course, they're good for the eyes. They help protect those vessels. And then they support collagen. And we had just been talking about collagen earlier. But collagen is that matrix that comes together that forms your ears, your nose. It's in all of your skin. And as we age, we add sugar to our diet. Well, sugar is just ingrained in our diet. Among other things, that matrix kind of starts weakening. And it can lead to wrinkles, it can lead to sagging skin, it can lead to a less elastic appearance. So taking care of our collagen is important. And we can do that by cutting down on sugars and eating foods that are rich in anthocyanins. Now, anthocyanins are most common in a lot of the berries that we know. You know, the beautiful grapes, blueberries, cranberries, those very bright, vibrant colors.
Love red onion.
What's that?
Love red onion.
Yeah.
Eat a lot.
Yeah.
Lucky.
No, that's good.
No,
That's good,
I didn't
no.
know that.
Well, and there's so many benefits, I think, to antioxidants that we don't realize that there are. And so and they actually did a study with men, and they looked at their intake of antioxidants through fruits and vegetables. And they found that men that had I want to say maybe like a 20% increase of vegetables over their counterparts had a significantly lower mortality rate through stroke and cancer.
Uh-huh.
So it's very, very protective. It also inhibits, I had to practice how to say this because I kept getting it backwards. It inhibits a factor that is pro-inflammatory. So in our bodies we have pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory. So the goal is to have a balance. And if we have this balance, when we get a cut, our pro-inflammatory goes up, we heal it, our anti-inflammatory meets us again, and we're good, right? In today's society, we have so much pro-inflammatory and not enough anti-inflammatory. I'm actually giving a talk in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, on inflammation, so if you're interested, please come, because everybody needs to know about inflammation. So the goal is to keep those even, but in our society it just doesn't happen because we have lots of stuff going on, which I will cover in a few weeks. But anthocyanins actually contain a compound that reduces that pro-inflammation reaction. So that is a benefit. Beets, yay, I love beets. I brought beet juice for everyone. Can you guys have beet juice? Can I pour you guys a glass of beet juice? It's super, super good. This is like my favorite juice ever.
And where'd you buy that at? At a grocery store?
Yeah, I got this at Vitamin Cottage.
Uh-huh.
And this has got all kinds of good
Really?
anti-inflammatory stuff, and it's got like turmeric and beets. And
Pass it back. Thank you.
this is called Suja, S-U-J-A. This cup's dirty.
And the banana and
This one's sweet beets. Oops, I have two beets here.
Smells like beets.
It's so good.
Beets, yes.
I like beets.
It's super good.
Do you need more cup?
I do need more cups.
Okay.
One of these cups is dirty, so I didn't want to use it. Continue.
Banana too.
You're so polite. Thank you. So the color of beets is due to betalains. Does everyone have one? Okay. Isn't that nice? I just love it.
Oh, that's yours.
Isn't it good?
This is sugar or?
There is sugar in it, but there's natural sugar. So it's a mix of, let's see, you've got carrots, so you're gonna have your carotene, your beet juice, your bananas, pineapple, which has got good enzymes in it for digestion, and you've got turmeric, which is good for inflammation, and then of course you have,
Wow.
it's so good, I love this stuff.
Yeah.
I was really excited when I found it, I assure you. So the color that makes it so red is this betalains.
Hey.
Now betalains, of course, have antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory, and they help detoxify. And the way they help detoxify is the betalain enzyme stimulates glutathione production, and then essentially toxins attach to it and it's excreted.
Where's my brother?
And it just tastes amazing. I love beets. Everybody should eat more beets. And of course, we often associate the color after we have beets with betalain. So we're going to talk about one last antioxidant. We're going to talk about resveratrol. Has anyone heard of resveratrol? Yeah, it's a really popular antioxidant, and it's most commonly found in red grapes. So resveratrol, pardon me, helps, let's see, it lowers your blood pressure. It's been known to reduce CVD, cardiovascular disease. It's being studied for its anti-cancer properties as well as anti-diabetic ones. I'm not sure how the anti-diabetic one, I don't know if it helps stabilize blood glucose levels. I'm not sure if it stimulates your insulin cells to produce more. So that one I'm not entirely sure on the mechanism by which it does it, but it's a very well studied antioxidant.
And it's in grapes?
It is. It's in the skin of red grapes.
Oh, red grapes.
In the skin.
So wine counts?
His wife.
Red wine.
That's what we like.
I know, right?
I don't know, when I drink wine, it makes my wife's blood pressure go up.
When you drink wine?
When I drink wine, yeah, hers goes up.
So anyone heard the study that a wine a day is good for you?
Oh, maybe that's the key.
Just
Every day.
No, that's not a bottle, that's a
Not a
glass. Not a bottle, it's a
Not
glass.
a bottle.
And that's because of resveratrol. I mean, there's likely other components in it because you're getting all the good stuff from grapes, but a huge component is going to be from resveratrol. Although, interestingly enough, a glass of wine only contains about 4 milligrams of resveratrol, which really isn't that much. So I think the key point to take away with that tidbit of information is that antioxidants are really important to take over the long term. You know, take it for a couple of years to see the benefit. It's not something that you're gonna take a large quantity of and then suddenly wake up and feel way better. It's just not how it works. But antioxidants are very beneficial for us. I wish we would take them more. Does anyone have any questions?